Okay, good morning, members and friends of the Church of the Angels. The church is an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly. My name is Reverend Jenni Vinecourt, and I am your facilitator for today. We will spend about an hour together with prayer and song and some sharing. A few things as we get started. You can join us with just your audio, if you choose. You don't have to use your video option if you don't want to be on the recording, because we do record it to make sure that we can be available to more folks. I ask that participants please keep themselves muted for the majority of the service because it helps to knock down background noise. And during the sharing portion, of the service, if you want to be called on to comment, or if you have a question, either do this or hey, raise your hand on your little reaction button, or get to me via chat, and I will try to watch all those things so that I can call on you. I do want to mention that we do have that wind weather advisory out there right now. So if all of a sudden we disappear today, it means the wind hit my internet. So, but we will try to get through today without that happening. Also want to mention, if you want to make a donation, you can do so through the Church of the Angels website. You'll also have an opportunity to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. I have also changed up the donation page on the website. So I'm trying to funnel everybody to the donation page. And on there, you will have choices to pick from, whether it's for a general fund, whether it's for the meditation circle, whether it's for the development circle, so you'll have those choices to make on the donation page. So we can, there's also a specific one there for our Joshua event coming up, and also the capital campaign fundraising. So you'll have those choices on the donation page. Thank you to those who have donated already to help keep us going, and those who have donated to the capital campaign fundraiser already. And I'm sure there'll be more. So thank you very much. And now for an opening prayer. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on all those joining us today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken and the healing brought forth here today, so that we might lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives, and we are grateful to know that you are with us always. So be it. And if you would please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. All right, and thank you. I have asked Reverend Carol Wood, the birthday girl, to read her statement of principles today. Reverend Carol, could you go ahead, please, and unmute yourself? And I've lost you. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. If you could unmute and go ahead and read the statement of principles, please.
Sorry, it took me a minute to unmute.
Not a problem.
Now let me see what I did with it. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, because I'm trying to do all this from the phone. So here we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease. Even after the event that is perceived as death, one creates one's reality. One creates in harmony with this one creative force, the great power of God, of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive and will change as one grows in the knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and the healing force of love with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Reverend Carol. Thank you very much. And now we'll have a few moments of quiet meditation so that we can concentrate on going within. Um, Bobby, could you give us a little bit of background music, please? Take your time and come back to the present. While we're still in this space, if you would please add silently or aloud the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Thank you. And remember that we are always connected to each other and to the divine. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and all those around you in your communities and throughout the world. Thank you. And now, Bobby, if you could raise our vibration with a song, that would be ever so lovely.
Ever so lovely, she says. I am still celebrating a couple of weeks ago. January can't come fast enough. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. 4 years. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. How many? Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. Little darling, it feels long return that faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. Sun, 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 it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. One more. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do do do. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. Here comes the sun, yeah. Here comes the sun. I said it's alright. It's alright.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, and now it's time for inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker. We do invite everyone to address this assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, passionate ideas. Let's see, oops, I'm letting people in still, sorry. Our speaker today is Fran Dittrich. And Fran, did not pull your bio. So what I want to say is she's a good friend, first of all. She's a loyal congregant and part of the Board of Trustees. And she's been with us for quite some time. And I always love listening to what she has to say. And I believe she's talking to us today about faith. So Fran, if you would unmute yourself and let's hear from Fran Dittrich. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm always humbled to speak because we have such a wise a learned congregation, and wise, but learned was the word I was looking for. I always just talk on things that you already know but need a reminder of. So hopefully my comments on faith will have some meaning for you. But first of all, I want to tell you that I live in a very busy household. So if you hear kids in the background or my dogs groaning and barking, please excuse me. But that's all a part of life, and life is wonderful. So I'm going to start with talking about the word faith, and then I'll go into what I actually think about faith. So faith is a really complex word. We can have faith, we can show faith, or we can be faithful. And they all have a little bit different meaning. Each of those verbs before the word faith. So we can have faith by being very true to our religion. Some people just consider their religion their faith. So that's one meaning to it, that, you know, that's your faith. Then we can have faith every day. And really what I want to talk about mostly is our everyday faith. We don't even realize how faithful we are, but we are very faithful beings. So I had a couple of things. What is the difference between faith and, let's see, what do I have here? Faith, having a blank all of a sudden. My first one was faith and, oh, come on, internet. Faith and hope, because a lot of people think that faith and hope are the same. But according to my internet, or my thing, which of course is not working well for me. Hold on one second. See if I can get this here. Oh, well, I'll just wing it, although they said it much better on here. Let me try one more time. Okay. Faith and hope are, this is from Google. So faith and hope are defined in the dictionary as follows. Faith is confidence or trust in a person or thing, or a belief not based on proof. And hope is an optimistic attitude of mind based on an expectation or desire. Faith says it is for now, and hope says it says in the future it could happen. So there's a little bit difference in faith and hope. So then some people believe that the faith and belief are the same, but being belief, I have the definition for belief, and belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. So I think that faith and belief are very close, but in my mind, faith and belief are not, they're close, but they're not the same. Faith requires an action as far as I'm concerned. And you might think, what? You don't need an action for faith. Well, to me, it requires a little bit of an action, because if belief, it's just automatic. You just automatically believe it. But in faith, sometimes you have to do something to help you have that faith. So I'm going to go through a couple things in the differences that I think in faith and belief. It's surprising if you think about faith, hope, and belief, and how your life is really totally immersed in faith, hope, and belief. And if you ever think about the differences, which you probably don't, because those are just standards in our life, but it's kind of fun if you try to think about the differences. So let's see, I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you some examples of my faith, hope, and belief. So when you're driving in your car and you're coming up to a stop sign, then and there's cars in front of you, do you think that it's faith, hope, or belief that you're not going to run into the car in front of you? Now, in my book, that's faith. And the reason why that is faith is because I have to do something. If it was a belief that I was not going to run into them, I could just keep going and not ever even touch the brakes, because I would believe that I'm not going to run into them. But faith, in my book, faith means I'm doing something to help with my faith. I'm hitting the brakes. Then I have faith that I am not going to run into them because I did something to help to strengthen my faith. So another one is for moms who, I don't know how many we have, but I got a bunch of little kids here, so this matters to me, is the bus for the kids in the morning. Do I have faith that the bus is going to come? Do I have hope that the bus is going to come, or do I have belief? Well, their mom has hope that the bus is going to come, that's for sure. But I have belief that the bus is going to come. And why is it belief instead of faith? Because I can't do anything about it. I can't, if the bus doesn't come, I can't make the bus come. So that's a belief for me. That's not a faith. I do not have faith that the bus is going to come. Another one is in the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store and you have to have something like, with all the holidays coming up, you need cream cheese. You forgot it. You got to have it. So you go to the cream cheese, you go to the store to get your cream cheese. Is that faith, hope, or belief that the cream cheese is going to be there? Well, if you're a smart person, you don't have faith that that cream cheese is going to be there, because cream cheese is not there a lot of times when it comes to the holidays. So for me, that's a hope. And it's a belief too, because I wouldn't have driven all the way to the store if I didn't believe that the cream cheese was going to be there. But it's not faith. So then we go to an example of work. A lot of us are still working, thank God. And I'm trying to decide, okay, my job being there, is that a faith? Is that a hope? Or is that a belief? For me, that's a hope. You know, in these times, we just don't know. I want to believe that my job is going to be there, but in these times, you just can't be sure. So I'm saying, I'm putting that in the hope category. I hope that my job stays. And then there's your health. Your health, it's all three. It's faith, hope, and belief, because you can hope to stay healthy, and you can believe to stay healthy, that you're going to stay healthy, and you should. You have to hope to stay healthy. Hope is the smallest there. You have to hope to stay healthy. You have to believe you're going to stay healthy, because if you believe that you're not going to stay healthy, you're not going to stay healthy. So your belief is very strong in some things, but you need to believe that you're going to stay healthy. And faith, to give an example of how I'm saying that faith actually takes some action on our part. You can have faith that you're going to stay healthy if you do all the things that you need to stay healthy. You know, if you eat M&Ms all day long, and of course I'm not talking from experience, but if you eat M&Ms all day long, then chances are you're not going to stay healthy. If you don't wear a mask in public, whether that's a controversy for you or not, chances are you may not stay healthy. Hopefully you'll stay healthy, and you may believe with all your heart that you don't need a mask. You can believe that, but you need to wear a mask to have faith, and then you still may not do it. And that brings me to, oh, there's one more really important one, and then I'll talk more about that. Our church. Okay, we all count on our church. For me, our church is in my life every single day. My beliefs from our church, my experiences, my relationships, those are all really important to me. So, you know, do I have faith that our church is going to be here for me always? I want to have faith that it's going to be here for me always. And I want you all to have faith that it's going to be here for you always. But this is where our faith needs a little action, because times are hard and we're not having our regular services. So we are not getting the support that we generally have. We're paying for a building that we're not using right now, which we have to do that because we have faith that we're coming back. But sort of a little church service announcement. I'm just asking if you can throw a little bit of extra funds towards the church just to help us get through these hard times. It would be greatly appreciated. And then you are acting on your faith that our church will stay. Okay, that's enough for the sort of commercial, but not really a commercial, because I believe it with all my heart. So back to the health, or any of the things, losing your job, any of the things, anything in 2020 we can talk about. Back to those. What happens when our faith is challenged? And it's been challenged a lot this year. We have had all kinds of things going wrong with our politics, with our medical stuff, you know, everything. We've had all kinds of things going wrong. And we have to have faith that we did everything to make them go right that we could possibly do. So that would give us faith. We need to do that. We need to have faith that we have done everything that we can do to make things go right. And we need to have faith in others. We believe as spiritualists that we are all part of one, that God is the combination. At least this is my spiritualist belief. Luckily, as spiritualists, we're pretty much allowed to, we have guidelines, but we can believe what we want because we're a very accepting church. But my belief is that we are all a part of one, that God is made up of all the individuals and all the people in the universe. So we have to believe that when these things are going wrong, that there is a reason for it. And we may not understand this reason. I mean, believe me, I do not understand this coronavirus stuff. And I am, along with everybody else, just can't understand why it's not stopping. So we have to take these challenges to our faith, and we have to believe in our higher, in the combination of all of us as God, and we have to believe in our higher self. We have to believe that we are doing the best we can, and that there must be a reason that this is happening. Is that Pollyanna? Yeah, it is, especially when you're going through it. You know, it's really, really hard to go through something terrible and believe that there's a reason behind it. But this is where your faith comes in. You have to have faith that there is a reason behind it, that there is something that is you're going to be taught something, you're going to gain something in the long run, or it's just a life lesson. So that's the challenging part of faith. And as spiritualists, I believe we have a leg up on everybody else, because I believe that we know that. It's hard to accept, but we know that. We know that it's all up to the greater good and our higher selves and the combination of everyone as God. So please just do that. But please just maintain your faith even during the really hard times. So, and another important part of that is that you need to ask for help, because with us as spiritualists, if you believe like I do that we are all part of one being, you have to help yourself. But this is where it gets really heady, but yourself is also, that person next to you is also a part of yourself. So you are an individual and an independent person, but in the higher realm, they are part of you. So you need to ask for help. And it doesn't have to be a close person. This is a part of our prayer chain. We ask for help by a really simple way of asking for help is our prayer chain that we do. Our prayer warriors are, I can't remember exactly what we call it, but where we can ask for prayers for people or situations. Another one is when you say your prayers, which, I never used to be a person that prayed. I always believed that prayer was something that you lived. You didn't have to actually say things to be full of prayer. But now I say prayers every night in bed. And I believe that these really bring the things that I'm praying for to the forefront of the message that I want to give. So I suggest that you pray, but I say, if you're like me, which probably nobody is, but anyway, I suggest that if you're going to pray, put the most important things first, because I always pray for my extended family, my siblings. And I told my youngest sister, I said, I'm sorry, but you get left out all the time, because by the time I get to her, there's 8 of us. By the time I get to her and all the kids and grandkids and every other thing, I'm usually asleep. So I try to make one in the beginning that says, I pray for my whole family, but then I go through and I give their specific needs. So anyway, that's what that's that point. So anyway, I was going to talk in closing about a few personal experiences that I've had that are that took faith. And so I'm not going to get real serious here because I mean, I could go through, we all have terrible things that have happened to us that we could share, but I'm trying to bring us up. We have enough to bring us down. So I'm trying to bring us up. So I'm going to tell you some of my personal experiences that are not a big deal. But for one thing, I was supposed to have surgery tomorrow. I was supposed to have a total knee replacement that I've been waiting for. I had it scheduled in October, and then my grandson had to have surgery, so I had to cancel it. So they scheduled it for November. I've had type and cross match twice because you have to have that within 30 days of your surgery. Went off all my supplements that I take, because I take a lot of herbal supplements because you can't take those before surgery. And so I've been walking around like a gimp because nothing works well with me if I don't take my supplements. So I've been walking around like a gimp. Was all mentally prepared, had the dogs going to the kennel, all that. So on Wednesday night, I heard on the news that Cleveland Clinic was canceling their surgeries. So I called in the morning and they were very apologetic, but said, yes, we are canceling our surgeries. And this is the part that really challenged my faith, but I'm over it now. She said, we're giving everyone that we cancel the same date. She said, the date doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about the date. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to give everybody this date, July 1st. It was like, July 1st? Are you kidding? I can't handle that. So anyway, I called on my faith, and maybe I also called on my belief and my hope, but my faith is I can react to that by boohooing. I can react to it by throwing a little hissy fit. I could do there's a lot of ways to react to some bad news like that. So for about an hour, I reacted with, and then I posted it on Facebook, and everybody thought I was real upset. And by the time they responded back on Facebook, I didn't care anymore, because I used my faith that this is the right thing to happen. This is the right thing. Maybe it's not the right, maybe I can't feel the right thing in my knees, but I know in my heart and in my head, this is the right thing to happen. I need to suck it up, and I need to know that the doctors can't do it right now, and the hospitals can't do it right now. So that's a little example of how I had to use my faith. And the other way I had to use my hope, belief, and faith is to do this talk, because believe it or not, I did the first talk on our very first Zoom church. And so I was really excited, because I was going to also be doing the very first talk in our in-person church, and I thought that's pretty cool. That's cool. I did the first one on the Zoom, and now I'm doing the first one in person. And then when we figured out, I'm part of the reopening committee, and we looked at what was going on right now, and we suggested to the board that we go back to straight virtual. I had to use my faith, because I was disappointed. I don't know how everybody else felt, but I thought that the in-person church was good. There were people there that really needed in person, but we have to look at what's right for everybody. So we had to take this step. So I hope for anybody that's really disappointed, I hope you can have faith that it's coming back. I believe that church will come back. I have faith in that. But back to my talk. I had hope that I would be able to come up with a good talk, and I stalled and I stalled and I stalled. I knew when I volunteered with Jenni, it was like, I know I'm going to talk about faith. We all have to have faith right now. That's what I'm going to talk about. That's an easy one, And so I was all about it. And then this week, as it got closer and closer, I was like, okay, I gotta do this. And I hope that I can come up with a good talk. I hope I can. And so that I used my hope. And then as it got even closer, it's like, oh, I believe I can get this done in the time I have left. I can do this. And then it came down to last night where I had to use my faith in myself, and I had to take an action. And so I took the action and I put the talk together, and I'm hoping, believing, and having faith that you've gotten something little out of it. And I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you very much. I certainly did. And I want to just say that in the chat box I've got from Anne Marie, thank you for your inspiration. Also, thank you for reminding me to buy cream cheese. Thank you very much. And from Vicki Jones to everybody, good talk. Thank you. Okay, would anybody else like to make a comment or have a question? Judy Nairn, unmute yourself and go ahead, please.
Well, thank you for that lovely talk. I have a little different take on things, but that's quite all right. I love to hear so many different ways of looking at these things. But I certainly want to introduce at least the concept when we talk about faith, hope, and all of those things, depending on how you sit with that I'm very grateful to the coronavirus. Because I believe that if we didn't have the coronavirus, Trump would be president again. And that would have been extremely destructive to our nation and our country and our people and the world.
Okay, if I can interrupt, we try to keep politics out of our church because we accept the beliefs of everybody. And while you may believe that, not everybody believes that. So
well, that's okay too. That's fine. I'm only expressing my own view. But I have gratitude for that. So I have gratitude to the coronavirus because it showed us how much we can all come together in this world, how much we're more alike than we are different. And I think there's many more gifts, and I've been devastated by it personally, truthfully. But I really, in directly responding to your talk, Fran, like you, I always look to turn things into the most, to turn to my faith, to have faith that this is happening, not just to us, but for us. And so that's what I look for when these things happen.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you very much. And yes, I just want to reiterate that, yes, we do have all sides of the political realm in our congregation. So we do try to keep that out. I've got a couple more chats here from Reverend Carol says, great job, Fran. Tonda Sill, I loved your talk. Kathy Gilway, I have no gratitude to the coronavirus, from Kathy Gilway. All right, any other comments? Oh, let's see.
Oh, Kathy again.
Okay, okay, thank you so. I so enjoyed your, and I definitely ask you again. So thank you.
Wait.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Who am I missing? This is Cindy. But I have a not good internet connection. Can anybody hear me?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, I know I'm on wonky internet. So I just wanted to say that I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, last week, and she was really she was devastated by the results of the election. And I'm not going there politically. I'm not saying one way or the other, but I'm just saying that this impacted her in quite the opposite direction, where she was quite upset about the results of the election. And she is a very Christian woman and very strong in her beliefs. And she said, this is really making me question my faith, because it seems like he would have been, that Trump would have been the proper winner. And I don't understand why he didn't win. And this is just really making me doubt my faith. And my comment to her was, and this is the point of my conversation, is that it's easy to have faith when things are going well. And the point of faith is to muster it when things aren't going so well. And I did lose power, so I lost a little bit of Fran's talk, and I apologize if she made that point. But I feel like faith is something that we need to draw on when the times are tough, whatever those tough times are, and that doesn't get challenged in easy times. So when people say, oh, this is making me doubt my faith, that's the point of the challenge, one of the points of the challenge at least. So I just wanted to put that thought out there. Thank you.
Uh-oh, did we lose Jenny, I wonder? I think we must have lost Jenny. Cindy, do you by chance have the rest of the service? I want to thank everyone for your comments. I truly appreciated them.
Yeah. And I
Wait,
can
Kathy,
continue with the service.
I wanted to say thank
So
you, Fran.
Oh, wait,
for-
Kathy wants to talk for a
we really
second.
do need to have faith, hope, and belief and gratitude that we're alive. So I thank you Fran, for those reminders. So you're an inspirational person.
No, thanks.
And I'm
All
so
right.
glad I didn't lose all of you and I
Oh,
only
good.
lost me. So I'm back. Okay. I only lost
Yay,
myself. I lost
Cindy.
the whole meeting. Sorry. Cindy, did you get a chance to make your point? Cindy
I
Hudson.
did. Yes,
Okay, good.
yes, I
Good.
did. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Alexander got knocked off. Let's bring him back. Okay, now muting you all again. All right, I just want to bring announcements, quick announcements here. As Fran mentioned, yes, we are not doing live services again. The Board of Trustees will revisit that again on our first board meeting of 2021, and we will revisit that, and that is for the safety of our community, for the safety of our congregants. And it was, I believe, a good decision. And so we will continue with Zoom every Sunday. Next week's speaker is Judy Nairn. Tomorrow night at 7 is Development Circle. The next afternoon thought exchange is the 24th at 2 p.m. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have changed the donation page on the website so that you can you can pick what your donation is for, whether it's for a development circle or meditation or general fund or any of that. So that is on the donation page. I also want to mention that we've got a sound bath healing event with Joshua coming up on December 4th at 7. And yes, the Pathways program, Reverend Barb Sater and I are beginning that again. So that is a program for ministerial and or metaphysical enrichment. So if you have questions about that, please email me and I will get that information to you. And Tanda, I believe that you have an announcement for us. Tanda, there you are. Could you unmute yourself and share with us, please?
Sure. Well, this morning I sat outside under the eaves of my house and watched this wild winds and sprinkles come in, and I kept coming to mind for me a statement a friend often makes, and that is, may the winds of change blow peacefully through your branches. And I slid into a wonderful morning meditation. And for some very bizarre reason, I clicked on a news update. And needless to say, I was like, what the frick did I do that for? Because it was not peaceful. And then I went back into meditation and opened up my meditation book and to a reading that was, once again, how these things come together. Tolerance for the angry. And it noted, it is not our place to condemn anyone for not being ready to change. It is easy to see what needs to be done, but not the life changing is only for them to do. It may be not their time to transform, and yet there's maybe a hidden reason for their frozen state. Either way, you are not to judge. Tolerance is the core of this practice. If someone is not willing to heal, you must vow to show patience and wait. And you may need to remove yourself from this contact while waiting in order to protect yourself. And in your mind, you must patiently trust that change will come. And what came to me was the need to send out, I've known of significant benefits when getting together with groups of people to send a concentrated energy. So I'm suggesting and asking for anybody that would like to participate at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. to simply ask for peaceful transition, regardless of political beliefs, regardless of where you stand. Just simply ask for peaceful transition at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. and to invite anyone or other groups that you may know to participate in the same, simply taking 5 to 10 minutes. One of the intentions that I will send is a simple prayer that may you be free from internal and external harm, and may you have a calm, clear mind and a peaceful, loving heart. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanda. I think that's a wonderful idea. Regardless of where anyone stands, I think that would be wonderful. And could you send that prayer, that simple 2-line prayer, could you put that in the chat box for us so that I can share that on the church's Facebook and stuff? So if you would write that down for me, or send it to me via email. Nope. Put it there and then everybody can have it. Okay.
Where do you want it in the chat?
Yes, please. If you could put it in the chat, that would be great. Thank you so much,
It's
Tanda.
actually 4 lines. I simply chose to use the first 2, but
Okay.
I'll leave it at your discretion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanda. Thank you so much. All right. Are there any other announcements quickly from the floor? I don't think so. Okay. So now we'll move into a little bit of message work. As spiritualists, we believe that the energy of all beings is forever linked. We believe that all of us have direct access to the love and guidance of loved ones, guides, teachers, saints, healers, and angels on the other side of life. And we do have mediums that have joined us today who have agreed to be of service and connect with spirit to bring forth a few messages for us. And Reverend Jan, nay or nye? I always get that wrong. I'm so sorry. But unmute yourself and tell me which way to say it, and then I'd like you to share your message, please. Oh, you're still muted, Jan. All right, Jan, why don't I come back to you? Hang on one second. All right, Reverend Vicky, could you give us 1 or 2 while Jan is unmuting?
Sure
That would
thing.
be lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Allison Weeks, would you like a message? Allison,
I'd love one. Thank you.
Okay, good. I'm seeing a lot of sunshine around you, even though there is some in your vicinity there, but I'm seeing some new things coming in for you. Let it come in. There's some new women coming in to help you. You won't get close to them. It'll be like what we're doing here, but there's some people coming in to help you. Have faith. It's coming. Don't worry is what I'm hearing from your ancestors. And I leave that with you. Spirit
Thank you. Thank you.
Judy Naren, are you still on? Would you like a message from Spirit?
Yes.
Okay, Judy, I'm seeing the Ascended Masters coming in to help you. I know you feel the energy of them coming in around you, especially the healing ones, the ones that do a lot of healing, because you're sending out some love and healing. And that's going to be your new mantra. You're going to be sending out healing and love, and that's coming in from the Ascended Masters to help you move forward. You'll have to give up some things they're saying and put it in the wheelbarrow and just shove it off to the side. They're coming in strong for you. Saint Germain is with you also, and I'll leave that with you with Spirit's blessings. Thank you,
Thank you
Jenny,
so
for
much.
All right, thank you, Vicki. All right, Jan, do you have a message for us, please?
I actually have a couple of messages, so.
Go ahead.
Hang on a second while okay. And I apologize if I might get a little long. But the messages I have are for the church in general. And just to give you a little preface is that I've been talking with some other spiritualist friends of mine who have given me guidance over the messages that I've been getting. Talking about COVID-19, back in April, just to give you a little background, back in April, I was very sick. I was sicker than I was when I had my walking pneumonia. I had quite a few of the symptoms, and once my temperature spiked, they finally agreed that I should have a COVID-19 test. I did have the test, but it came back negative. They sent me back home to treat myself with, now I realize I'm crooked. To treat myself as if I had a bad cold. And they sent me back to work wearing a mask. But as I slept and I slept and I slept a lot, I received messages from my spirit guides, my Reiki spirit guides. And what I heard and got from them was oregano oil and eucalyptus oil. And what I found out is that oregano oil is a antiviral, antibacterial. Using the oregano oil and the eucalyptus oil, I diffuse it into water. And it was starting that very day, I also gave myself what I call breathing treatments. And I can explain that for someone later who would like to know what that is. And I did that twice a day, and I did that twice a day for 4 weeks. But it was immediately after I started diffusing the eucalyptus and the oregano oils was when I started to feel the lightness in my airways and my air passages opening up. And then I had another dream about 2 trees, and the trees represented the air passages in my lungs. And there were stalks that were about 4 feet tall, and the stalks all that were gathered around the trunks of these 2 trees. And the stalks lifted up their little feet and they moved to the curb. So that represented to me that I did have COVID-19, even though they said my test was negative. But it took me about 6 weeks before I fully recovered. So the key to me that I like to pass on to you is the eucalyptus and the oregano oils are the keys to help anyone who is feeling the symptoms of COVID-19. And I also received a recent prayer from a friend of mine, Reverend Debbie Michaels from Where Angels Gather. COVID-19 we have been told it's in the air. It's not just transmitted by people coughing, it's actually in the air. So the prayer that I have, we call the COVID-19 prayer. And it is, I ask in Jesus' name, please put a seal of protection around me to protect me from the coronavirus. Thank you, in Jesus' name, amen. Many people have forgotten how to pray. And when you pray to Jesus, it doesn't matter whether you whisper it or you say it out loud or you protect your family. He hears you. He will be there for you. He will put a seal of protection around you to help protect you from the coronavirus. So the keys are the eucalyptus oil and the oregano oil. Okay, so that's that one. And there was something that was said, something about the insects, that it's spread via insects. And I don't know if anybody else has seen them or had them, as I have little flies. I had to put fly strips up. So I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but if you have, you can figure that one out on your own. The next message is regarding the weather to come. We're going into winter. The weather forecasters are predicting that it's going to be a very cold and wet winter than we have seen in quite some time. When I received my messages during meditation and during my dream time. And also in my dream time, I have visions. And for, I want to say 6 months, 9 months, almost to a year, I've been dreaming and having visions of a storm, a great storm. And it's bothered me. So I contacted my spiritual advisors and my friends, and we've talked about it. In the dreams, the thing that bothered me the most was I've heard the voice say, the great power outage. And I've heard it said 2 or 3 times, the great power outage, about 2 or 3 months apart. So it brings to mind, okay, what causes a great power outage? So I've we've been preparing for a great storm. There's going to be a storm during the winter. And with my curiosity, I want to know when. I want to know how. I want to know. I just want to know. I want to know how to prepare myself. How do we prepare? And the answer that I kept being given was get prepared, stock up on supplies, make your emergency preparations. And then I heard and watched on the news, Scott Sable at Channel 8, and he gives you the weather predictions for the next 3 months. And the day that I watched, he showed the weather for the winter and stated that between January and February are going to be typically the coldest months. So I put together in my head, okay, the storm is coming between January and February, to watch out for the polar vortex. And my friend, Ms. Kat, who's an oracle, when I spoke with her about the storm, she's also been seeing the storm. Reverend Debbie Michaels has been seeing the storm. I talked to a wise man, and he's been seeing the storm. So we're trying to find out when the storm is coming. This is per Ms. Kat. The storm will hit the lakeshore counties, beginning in Lake County and go all the way to the next big city. It will back up towards Cleveland. By the way, the next big city is Buffalo. The wind will be fierce. It will knock down the trees and power lines. The snow will hit hard and fast and overnight. The roads will be unpassable. Many will be caught off guard. There will be no electricity for 5 days, no water. Gas lines will be ruptured. Stock up on gallons of water. Prepare. There is a battle going on between God and the angels and the dark one. This will be a big storm. Beware of false faces. Do not open your door. Say, I'm sorry, I can't help you, please leave. Call on your spirit guides to make them leave. They will help. Upon further discussions and my own inquisitiveness, okay, we talked about Scott Sable. I had to write things down so I would not forget. Make arrangements to care for your family and your elderly. Bring them to your home. Pay attention to the weather. Watch for a polar vortex with high winds. Pay attention to your animals. They're the first ones who will give you the notice. Ask your angels and your spirit guides to give you a minimum of 24 hours notice. Do not panic, stay calm, be strong. I nonchalantly told my brother to pack an overnight bag and leave it in the corner, and I will come and get you. Lastly, fill your bathtub as soon as the power goes out to flush the toilet. No toilet paper in the toilet. It will clog your drains. Use baby wipes and throw them out. Tell as many as people that will listen and batten down the hatches. Thank you for allowing me to serve. "12 o'clock, I got cut off.
It looks like Jenny's off again, or where is Jenny? There she is over there. Cindy, can
Did I get cut off?
No, you didn't get cut off. We got to hear the whole thing. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jen, you
you're
were fine.
welcome. I don't mean to startle anybody, but I don't know. I've been told that other people have heard the same thing or have had other visions. And I just thought it was appropriate to make it known to as many people who will hear.
Well, I personally am in deep gratitude. I can feel everything that you're saying, and it resonates. And I don't know why. I never thought anything about those things, but I'm especially grateful for the tip on the oregano oil. I'm very into essential oils, but I can't take oregano internally, so it just sits here. So now I know another way that it can be effective along with the eucalyptus. So I really thank you for everything, Jen, that you shared with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jen. I do appreciate that. And the heads up, you know, in any event, if the universe shifts and the storm does not come to pass for whatever reason, because the universe is in motion and things can always change, it still is
That's true.
wise to be ready for all kinds of things. You know, who would have thought we should have stacked up on toilet paper and not going crazy on it, but have an extra roll, you know, those kinds of things. And so,
Right.
so do appreciate the heads up and some
I-
significant
yeah, I
prayerful warning to at least ask for 24 hours notice. Yes.
Yeah, well, we have a few months that we could prepare, and it's going to be a hard winter, so we should be relatively prepared anyways. So I just thought it was important. I just felt the need that I needed to tell as many people as I could. So
Well,
thank you.
Jen. Absolutely.
Oh, now we lost Cindy, I think.
Oh, maybe the storm
The
is.
winds of
back.
change.
Cindy's back.
The ethers are already, she said, woo.
The winds have changed.
Yeah, the winds have changed.
I was real quick. I was at Costco yesterday and they said the toilet paper shortage is coming back. So they had no toilet paper, no paper towels.
Thanks,
Jenny's
Fran, for the
back.
heads up.
Okay, well, we're,
Hey, I just want
I
to say,
tell-
I'm sorry, I got
Jenny's-
knocked off again. I got
Okay, well,
knocked
we
off
can-
again. I'm so sorry.
that's okay,
okay.
Jen. I've been knocked off too several times today. I think if we close and then we can chit chat, because I know we're kind of interested in chit chatting,
Yes.
but let's
Yep,
close
I just want to go ahead and close. Bobby, are you still here? There you are. If you could unmute, and I want to thank everybody for their kind attention. Bobby, if you could unmute and give us another quick song, and then I'll do a closing prayer. Thank you so much.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Once blind, but now I see. God's grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieve. Precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. I was blind, but now I see.
In closing, let us pray. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, as we move forward, we thank you in advance for the guidance and resources you always provide for us to live the fullest expression of your love. We pray for all those affected by the circumstances throughout our world at this time. May we be reminded of the opportunities we all have to reconnect in love to those around the world, to Mother Earth and the universe. Amen. Thank you.